All right, I think we're live now.
There we are.
We're here with Michelle Dupachon.
Yes.
Yes, I got it right the first time. Thank you very much. I listened to your mindful, is it called Thoughtful Thursdays?
Yes.
And a lot of what you do is simple ways to get this straight first so our day becomes easier, less stressful.
Right.
Is that right?
Right. And
Okay.
then how it directly affects our health as well. Just things to help with your day, but also because I believe that we bring so much sickness upon ourselves just by our thought life.
And a lot of it is, it's completely true. Like you'd mentioned, we're so busy with all our technology. We run here, we run there, we run there. We don't take time for ourselves to get ourselves ready to go.
Right.
Our alarm goes off in the morning. Okay, in our head, our checklist starts. Okay, how do I get this child up? How do I get ready for this?
Right.
I have to be at this point. I have to check my email. I'm waiting for an email for this one.
Right.
I have to make sure I do this before I throw my laundry, before I even jump in the shower.
Right.
Your day's already gone through your head, and it's like
right.
you're going 80 miles an hour. You
Yes.
haven't even warmed up yet.
Yes. So I wanted to say, so those of you that watch me regularly, in every episode I say that I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical professional, but he is. This
What?
is Dr.
I am.
This is Dr. Anthony Ratkovic, and so did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Look at this.
Okay, so he does know what he's talking about. He's a doctor of chiropractic and has been one for 15 years now.
15 years from practice, yes.
Right, and he's here in Upland. I live in Upland. He's in Upland, located on Euclid Avenue.
And a lot of what we do in my office now is a podcast, a YouTube channel, Instagram, Instabook, Facebook, all the books and grams out there. The biggest thing we want to do as chiropractors is educate the people around us. How do we make you the best advocate for your health? It's not about me saying you have to do this, or even your medical doctor. A lot of it is how do you learn via Google, via Facebook, via these videos, especially Michelle's too, is to change this, how we keep ourselves healthy. The application is huge.
Right.
What can we do early in the morning, throughout the day, even before you go to bed too, to keep our body and our mind strong and healthy?
Right.
And if we don't keep this healthy, our body can't stay healthy.
Yes.
I do a lot of people that come in here with anxiety because they're
That's a
in
big
pain.
Yes.
And my job is, as an example, is to teach them, once they get their body to feel better, to maintain it on their own. They're stretching, they're strengthening their mindset so they get strong and confident again and stay that way.
Right.
And for me, without medications, as chiropractors, my disclosure is too, is we do not prescribe medications or surgery. What we do is focus on manual adjusting to improve the self-regulation of the body and self-healing of the body, which it can do on its own, as long as you're breathing. If you're not breathing, you're probably not watching the show, so don't worry about it.
That's true. And so one of the things that I've said before is how, a lot of times we want the easy fix. We'll go to a doctor, just give me a pill to take away the pain, but it's just like putting a Band-Aid on everything, right?
Huge.
I mean, because it's not dealing with the actual root of
If there's a
what's
major
causing.
problem going on, not even major, minor problem going on, and you medicate it, now you've turned off the body's alarm system, so now your
Yes.
body goes, well, it must be fine.
Right.
And now that problem over time, a period of sometimes weeks, months, and years, can be caused arthritis or this problem where you bend over, pick up a pencil, and all of a sudden your back goes up
Right.
or your neck goes up.
Right.
And the problem with that is now you've made things worse by not dealing with the real problem. Again, I may run into a wall or trip over something and my ankle hurts for a second, or my head hurts or my shoulder hurts. That's simple.
Right.
But when something goes on for sometimes days and weeks and it's getting worse in the morning, especially you wake up the next day, you're worse physically, okay, now that's a problem.
Right.
And seeing a chiropractor versus a medical doctor, our job is, okay, what's the physical problem going on? Not what can we prescribe to you to make you just feel better.
Right. And not only that, I mean, talking about the medications, the long-term effects of medication on the organs of our body, liver and kidneys, whatever
come on,
else.
this is 2018. We know this now. This is
Right.
it's not a secret anymore.
Right.
300 people die a day on average in the United States from taking medication the correct way. Not overdosing, not manipulating, not taking someone else's medications. It's your medications. So if you know side effects are that bad, why do we still focus as a country on that? Because the big pharma, if you want to call it that, they control how drugs are distributed, and they dictate with medical doctors how to do that. I did an interview with a physician assistant, Brianna, a few months ago, and a lot of it is they have to get patients through their office quick, because reimbursements are less. The doctor can pay less by the insurance companies, So the drug is the quick fix.
Yes.
Versus going to Michelle, okay, Michelle, where's the problem? How do you move?
Yes.
How do you feel all day?
Right.
That takes time.
Yes.
And for a doctor's office, that's money. My job is to spend the time with someone so I understand what the problem is, maybe not just here, but how it affects their neck, how it affects their overall body, how it affects their life.
Right.
That's more important to me. People come in not because they're in pain, but because the pain's affecting their life
Yes.
and causing emotional response. My job is to get that response to improve so they get confident and strong again so that goes away. Not the pain, but how they're feeling about the pain.
So do you do with people that, let's say, like you were talking about anxiety earlier?
Yes.
Now, like you were saying, it's caused by the pain, but then sometimes when we let our thoughts go, we, without trying to rein them in, try to get control of our thoughts, and we can compound that, can we not?
Exactly. We start now rationalizing why we're having the pain. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that pain from a scientific level can affect your overall body to stay in a stress state.
Yes.
And when it does that, now it's a feedback loop of if I move, it causes pain. I better stop moving, and now your body gets weak. Now your body gets weaker and tighter because your body's chemistry, your cortisol, catecholamines, tell you not to move even more.
Right.
So your body gets more anxious, more concerned about it, and more fearful, to where now your overall health depreciates for one too. People that come in with that, they don't sleep very well. They sleep and they wake up more sore and sometimes more fatigued, more tired. They don't get the deep delta relaxing sleep that you need to get to, your body can recharge.
Right. And our bodies do need rest, obviously. So what advice could you give to someone who's stressed out and they're starting to feel the aches and the pains and, all the tightness that comes up here and that kind of thing? I mean, what would you tell them as far as how to deal with that?
First thing is not to listen to your body. Your body's in that state because it's a self-defense mechanism. It's what we were born with, or genetics-wise, when we were cave people, is it tells you not to move because it's causing pain and tightness. So you want it. What happens when you don't move? It tightens up even more.
Yes.
So we have to move. Okay, if I feel that sensation where my body gets tight and I'm stressed, my body's more like this, I have to move by causing some stretching. And I'll put in the show notes afterwards too, and both yours and mine, some stretches for your neck and shoulders, and move things around. Even deep breathing.
Yes.
Deep breathing allows your body to get more oxygen to your brain, allows your lungs and upper parts of your neck, when you take a deep breath in and hold it for a second, then relax as you breathe all the way out. Get your body to really feel that, and focus on that, not the tightness, not what's causing the tightness too.
And then I have found through doing yoga, as far as when the deep breathing, you kind of, it helps to clear the mind as well. So it has an overall effect on, mentally and then physically, of course, as well. Because God created us body, mind, and spirit.
Huge.
The three go together. So I've talked about it before, that you cannot have all these crazy thoughts and then expect your body to be relaxed, because it doesn't work that way. Our thoughts affect our health, and our health affects our thoughts. Everything goes together, so it all needs to be balanced. And
by having that balance, now the stress is put on your body, maybe physically or mentally, you can tolerate that.
Yes.
Not have the physical reaction or the mental reaction when you're under that stress.
Right.
I think that's the biggest thing, is when that stress becomes compounded over time, their reaction to the stressors around them, their environment, becomes more sensitive to that.
Yeah.
So by having a mindset, by doing something physical and mental throughout the day, routinely, it doesn't have to be for an hour every day, because that's sometimes not possible if you have kids or a full-time job, but something we can do is to spend routinely every day in the morning if you're a morning person, or night person if you're a night person, and get it done so you have that physical and mental recharge, so your body feels good to handle more stress and more stress.
Right.
See, we were told, through medical docs especially, and sometimes other people, if you're stressed, take this medication or stop, or avoid that stressor. The problem is that's life.
Right.
You can't avoid life.
Exactly.
People have been told by the doctors and chiropractors, you got to change your job. Sorry, your job's too stressful. That job provides my family, my income to pay my bills and my taxes. Right. And I got to pay my taxes. If not, the tax guys will come and get me.
Right.
Okay. So I can't do that. Exactly. More stress. So how do you get your body to tolerate more stress? Your body to get healthier to tolerate more stress? By practicing mindfulness, by deep breathing, by exercising. Because when you do those things, your body scientifically produces serotonin, endorphins, to help decrease the stress hormones. And those better hormones, serotonin, endorphins, I'll put them in the notes so you can actually look them up if you want to, they allow your body to stay in a relaxed state.
Yes.
If we're in a relaxed state, Michelle, our body can handle more stress. Then we can maintain that relaxed state by causing more exercise, more positive thinking, and more movement like yoga to keep our body in a relaxed state.
Right.
Then that feels like our normal again.
Yes.
And then we want to do that exercise, the mindfulness, even playing music. I did an interview with Monica, Music Tree in Pomona, phenomenal place. They focus on getting kids that aren't very physical sometimes, or they just like music, as a way to de-stress their body.
Yes. Yes.
And adults too. They have seniors come in, people over 65, come in and do that to de-stress their body.
Right.
Why not?
Right. And I play piano too, so I know that it's like therapy for me, but so is working out. So
it's everything.
Right. And so you as a doctor,
Doctor.
I just go by my experience, and I have talked to other people, and then reading up on things, but I don't know scientific, all of that stuff. But I do know that if I'm having a particularly stressful day, when I work out, it's with that much more purpose. And because I'm focusing on that, my mind doesn't even think about the stress that I had for the day, and I literally feel like I've been through therapy. Like I feel totally different after. So I know that it works. I can't explain the whys, but I do.
The whys, because your body's focused on the workout, playing the piano, not everything else that sits in your head all day long.
Yeah.
You can only have so many voices at one time until your body starts breaking down and not tolerate that. It's called a stressor at that point.
Right.
There's a book out there called Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, and what he talks about is focusing on the now to make your body want to relax and enjoy that moment, not by criticizing or analyzing the moment, but by observing and feeling what you're feeling at that time. So when you're working out, you're going, okay, what's my technique like?
Yes.
How's my breathing?
Yes.
Or do I have the right weights? Are the weights for me? Because sometimes in the morning I'm confused. If I'm doing a bench press, are the weights even on both sides? If not, I'm going to drop them again on one side. I'm like, not again.
Yes.
But how do I make sure I'm focused enough on what I'm doing so I don't fall off the treadmill?
Right.
Playing piano, it sounds normal, I guess. I don't play piano. I have no musical skills at all. If I'm running, how do I run with a purpose to make sure I don't fall?
Yeah.
Where am I going? What am I sensing? Is my body feeling normal? Does it feel good? Am I breathing well?
Right.
When you focus on this, the outside stuff doesn't matter. When you get back to the outside, it's like, okay, now I can handle it again.
Yes.
That recharge, a quick mental recharge, even a quick power nap allows you to shut it down and get back into what you have to deal with every day.
Right.
That break.
Yeah.
But if you don't have the break, then all of a sudden you become stressed. You don't sleep well.
Yes.
You stay tight in the shoulders.
Yes.
And because you're tight and it hurts to move, you want to maintain that tightness, and it gets worse and worse and worse. And that's how the cortisol, catecholamines, the pain receptors, they fire more to maintain that worse state. So the movement allows you, and the movement and the thinking and staying in the now, focus on what you're breathing, how you're breathing, what you're sensing around you, using all your five senses, what you're hearing, what you're smelling, allows you to focus on that to relax your body.
Right.
We have to do that. If not, we will get cancers, we will get stressed, we will need medications for that too, or we will have angina, heart problems from that too.
Right.
People come in here, sometimes they're so stressed that they have heart issues that are not heart related.
Yes.
The nerves in your brain go to your body, and what they do is cause the autonomic system to fire to keep your body under stress, with the physical symptom being angina, like a heart attack. Right. It's a physical symptom when your body's under stress.
Right. And I had spoken before in a previous episode about the fight or flight response we have in our bodies.
Yes.
And
that's it.
We need it. I mean, it's a life-saving response that we have, but when there's no danger to us and we constantly have that fight or flight thing going on, that in itself just causes us, because why? Because we need to either fight or run, and we're not doing either, and it's a constant thing in our minds.
We'll realize too, when we watch a scary movie, I watch movies that are not very scary, but they still scare me. We know we're not under attack by a ghost or a goblin or a zombie, whatever it is, but we can still feel that reaction.
Yes.
Our body sees it as real event. If we're having a bad dream, our body still wakes up, where our heart's racing, our legs are tired, we can't breathe. The body doesn't know if it's a physical or a mental stressor, so we're affected by both.
Yes.
So we have to realize we have to control what goes in our mind so our body can stay in that relaxed state, not the fight or flight or the stress response.
Right.
Because when it does, like you mentioned, over and over, when our body goes from we can handle that stressor,
Mm-hmm.
it shuts down.
Yeah.
And the shutdown is where we have the anxiety, the lack of sleep, the constant worry that things are just that bad.
Mm-hmm.
And someone next to you sees like, well, it's not that bad.
Right.
But they're not in the same state.
Yes.
So they're not going to realize what you're perceiving will be different than what they're
Right.
seeing.
Right. And going back to the thoughts, it's sometimes people think that we don't have control of our thoughts, that these things just come and that's it. And yeah, some thoughts do just come to us, but you don't have to dwell on them, right?
No.
We do have power over that.
We have power to, in my sense, to control how you start your day, so those thoughts don't affect you. Affect how your body responds to them.
Okay.
See, as someone, if I'm in a restaurant or even in line at the bank, for example, and someone in the back is like, gosh, it's taking so long. Gosh, why is it so long? I'm like, oh, okay, whatever.
Right.
It's just normal. So my response, everything the same stressor, the same delay, if you want to call it that, because that person may not be in a good state coming into the bank, they're going to have that reaction.
Yes, that's true. That's perfect.
Or I may get, if I'm in the bad state, I may go, hey, clown, calm down.
Right.
That's rhymed for some reason. I don't know how that rhymed. That rhymed. That was great.
You're a poet and didn't know.
Well, I know. I'm not even close to poet. But how do you maintain your own state so if you're under stress, you don't get to where you react to it? There's a way to say that. And by doing the right things, by having a daily ritual of maybe yoga, maybe stretching, maybe meditation or reading the Bible like I do, allows me to go, okay, if I'm here, how do I maintain that so it doesn't affect me throughout the day?
Right.
And working out and walking my dog, because my dog requires walks every day. I don't know why. It's crazy.
Well, when you mention the Bible, like the Bible talks about meditation. Many verses talk about dwelling on God's Word. And like I mentioned to my kids before, I wish the Bible would explain certain things, but of course it doesn't,
That's the gift of the mystery.
Right. And it's so many of the things of those kinds of things are good for us, are healthy for us, physically, mentally, spiritually, everything. I mean, when God tells us on Philippians, I think it's 4:8, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, think on these things. If we're thinking about those things, how can we get stressed?
But we have to think about those things first.
Yes.
That's the difficulty is how do we make that part of your day, or for me, the night I like the more reading at night, is how do we make that part of a routine daily, maybe just 5 minutes of reading something to get this straight first. Okay, I'm going to focus on being like that today. So even though when you're pushed one way or the other, that's my focus.
Yes.
And when you do it, it's not going to be day one, people. We're not robots.
Right.
But after a period of weeks, sometimes months of doing a routine, our body can adjust to that.
Yes.
When I treat someone and someone is in a stress state, it takes a minimum of 30 days for their chemistry to change, their body's chemistry to change, to get their body to see it as a better state.
A minimum of 30 days?
I mean, 30 days, minimum 30, sometimes 60 days. Depends, again, a lot of variables, in the sense where their life's not going to change.
Right.
The stressors are still there, so we have to go, okay, we deal with your environment, we're not going to change your environment, your stressors in your life, but how do we change how you think about them and how you deal with them? In my sense, decreasing their pain, causing more emotion, and then adding things in so your body can change to deal with that better.
Right.
And what I tell people too, if it feels uncomfortable, you're doing the right thing. You're causing a change in your body. If it feels comfortable, you're not doing enough to change your body.
Right. And
physically
that's in
or
life.
mentally.
That's in life, not just
Huge,
physically.
Huge. But by doing something, okay, I don't really want to read, but when you do, and you become happy, like, wow, this is really interesting, because your mind doesn't realize you can do that.
Right.
And if you can do that, then what else can I do? What else can I do?
Right.
You start building on that confidence on one thing,
Yes.
building a bridge to doing more and more,
Mhm.
and then over time helping other people do the same thing, paying it forward.
Right.
Like you're doing now, Michelle.
And I am uncomfortable doing this with Dr. Tony, by the way, just so you
are.
know.
I
But I'm
do love
stepping
you.
out of my comfort zone, so I wanted to get him his knowledge.
Well, and then one thing is you have a good biblical references. I mean, for me, I love Proverbs, even better than Psalms.
Yes.
Proverbs
Me
is
too.
more, if you ever read the Bible before, it's either going to damnation or going to heaven if you do that. It's very black and white. And I like it because it's very black and white, but it's almost, okay, how do I live a healthy life, and mentally and physically? Because a lot of it, what they talk about in there is how do you how do you think the right things and then do the right things in the process?
Yes.
And at that point, you live a healthy, peaceful, relaxful life over time.
Right.
That's just me.
Right. And what we believe, and not only biblically, but just what you believe in life is comes out in your actions, your thoughts and your actions and your words.
Huge. And when you think about that, when you do those words and actions, and reinforces positive behavior, do it again and again and again.
Negatively and positively.
Punch you in the face and the negative stuff.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is when you do the positive thing, it makes you go, wow, they talk about the time paying for someone's Starbucks behind them, or letting them cut in line with you too. That makes me feel good. That may help them, they may benefit them financially or time-wise, makes me feel good to help them. That reinforces my behavior to do it again and again and again.
Yes.
I see someone on the side of the road, I'm going to help them out. They have a question, I'm going to answer the question.
Right.
That, if you want to call it compassion for somebody else, has to happen first within you to make that available to somebody else. I did talk with Dr. Kelly, Louisa Kelly in University of Laverne a couple months ago too. A lot of it is she talks to her students about getting self-compassion first. That allows you to be passionate around people around you. So you help them, you serve them. I did post something yesterday, ironically. I have a patient who's 93 years old, Harvey.
Oh,
he comes in, and he came in about probably a month ago. And he can't see very well, can't hear very well. He's 93, so I have to yell in his ear sometimes. But physically, mentally strong and healthy. So I when I took a picture with him, I posted on my stuff yesterday. I said, Harvey, what's your secret? You're 93 years old. I'm less than half your age, 44. He goes, help other people first.
Oh.
How do you care for someone else first? At that point, it'll keep you cared for.
Right.
And the guy's a genuine, every word comes out is thank you or appreciate. I'm like, this guy is just a walking time bomb of careness.
Right.
There's a word, careness, I don't know. But how do you use that and go, how do I pay that forward?
Right.
How do I go and do that to somebody else to make myself feel better selfishly because I'm helping somebody else?
Right.
But it takes someone staying healthy, not anxious or upset with themselves or other people to have that ability to.
Right.
So you have to focus on this first, and then you can exude that type of caring and passion for other people.
Right. And I had mentioned on my show on Thursday that when we don't take that time, that quiet time, we become more stressed, irritable. And as a mom, I mean, I know mothers can relate to this, and I know fathers too, but moms are usually the ones around the kids a lot.
Yes.
They snap at their kids. They'll get irritated with them much quicker. And it's, you don't want to raise your kids that way. You don't want your kids to be raised with that. So that was like a big motivator for me. It's
huge.
like, oh, okay, I shouldn't have talked to her that way.
But because what's going on in your own health state, you're reflecting that effect on what you're doing with your reaction to the environment.
Right.
To that stressor, maybe the kids screaming, hungry, want to go to the bathroom, whatever it is, depending on how old they are. At that point, your reaction is a reflection of your health inside.
Yes.
So how do you get your mental, physical health at a good state before you even deal with that?
Right.
And some parents, they work at 5 o'clock in the morning. That's my routine. That when I come home, I'm ready to go. My kids are getting up in the morning, they're like, why does he have so much energy all the time? I peak at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock in the morning, that's my energy peak, and that rest of the day is done. But I want to start my day that way so I feel good the whole day.
Right.
So when I'm hit by something, I go, okay.
Right.
If I don't start with a workout, I'm like, oh, don't even talk to me until I get my cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Don't even mention anything. My dog can play. I play with the dog so they won't say anything to me.
Right.
But if you have my cup of coffee, don't have that yet, don't even talk to me.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Right. And I think one of the things, like I had suggested, was even if you take a short walk around the block, breathe some air, look up at the sky, admire nature. I mean, nature in itself is very peaceful. It's very calming. And, I love just looking at the sky. Every day I look at the sky, and it's like sometimes it's blue, sometimes it's pink and purple and orange, and, just stuff like that is very calming to me. Now, it may not be to someone else, but...
well, how do you find a peaceful spot if you don't want to go for a walk? As a plan B, if you don't have the room or the time, a peaceful spot where there's either quiet or natural sounds to where you can enjoy that moment. And what I mean by that, like going back to that Power Now book by Eckhart Tolle, I should be endorsed by that guy. I always talk about him all the time. Is how do you observe and feel that moment, not analyze and be critical of it.
Oh, right.
That's the biggest thing.
Right.
I take my dog makes me take for a walk twice a day. In the morning, because I can see the morning rise sometimes on the mountains, because we live in Upland. I'm grateful I can do that.
Right.
But some people don't have that. So how do they go in their backyard, even in their house, and just feel a spot where they can go, I can take deep breaths, relax, maybe stretch while I'm here. If I can't have, I don't know, way to go somewhere, because if I have kids,
Right.
can't leave them in the house. It's called neglect or something. I
Right,
don't know what
right,
it is. Something
yeah.
like that. To where how do you enjoy a moment where I can take 5 minutes here and do some stretching while I take deep breaths in and focus on what's going on with me right now.
Right.
That gives you energy to go back in the house with the kids and go, now I can deal with that kid and not snap at him
Yes.
while I'm with them.
Right.
If that's your situation.
Right.
You know, people have fast lives.
Yeah.
So how do you spend 5 minutes? And sometimes it says, I don't have time. Well, you know, instead of setting your clock in the morning, get at 5:30, get up at 5:20 to spend that 5 minutes.
But you know, when
Yes.
when I hear I don't have time.
Yes.
First of all, it's a matter of priority. We always have time for what's important to us. Secondly, a lot of people use their time doing things that are not helpful. Like we're doing a live on Facebook, but scrolling through Facebook for half an hour, that doesn't benefit you as much as going for a walk and taking some deep breaths. Not for life, you know, purpose and things like that. So yes, it's fun.
Entertainment.
It's fun. Yes, it's definitely
Escape.
entertainment. But if you're snapping at your kids, if your husband irritates you for any little thing, then
We irritate
you need
all
to
the time.
take.
That's our job.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a
You
job.
need to take time. You need to take some of that time away from TV or Facebook or your computer, even if it's, like he says, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and spend it on your mindset so that you're not like that with other people, and just it's better for your health as it is anyway. That's what we're talking about.
And a lot of it is too, when we sleep, our body wants to shut down physically and mentally. If we know that, how do we, before we go to bed and or when you wake up in the morning, give that time to go into sleep or out of sleep where you have time to rest, not just go. If I go, okay, I'm gonna work all day. At lunch, I'm gonna spend 5 minutes doing my mindfulness. But your body's already tuned up here. It's already at going 9 miles an hour. How do you go from there to 0, then back up to 90 miles an hour again? The best efficient time is when you wake up in the morning or before you go to bed, turn the phone off, turn the TV off, turn all your devices off, and spend the 5 minutes in quiet, doing stretches, maybe listening to some soft music, not like Anthrax or something, or some crazy rock music, or some of this youth music too, these whippersnapper music, and just give yourself a chance to shut this down before you go to bed so you sleep relaxed, or wake up relaxed so you don't wake up and all of a sudden you look at your phone real quick.
Right.
Because that's when the scrolling starts.
And I'm guilty of doing that sometimes too.
Michelle.
Wake up and
Horrible.
what's going on here, you know? And
Hypocrite.
I know,
Kidding.
but like I always say, I'm not the premier example. I'm not the
Yeah.
perfect example. I just bring this, you know. I practice as much as I try to do it on a daily basis. And
Well, and then
but
Michelle,
there's things I had a piece of chocolate cake last
yeah,
night.
I love chocolate cake. Why not?
Yeah.
I like the whole cake myself. but how do you? But because you are in it, do you realize you've gone to a crazy state, if you want to call it that, stress state, to a relaxed state. So you know what normal is for you. People haven't even gotten there yet. They don't have a standard of where they want to be.
Yeah.
So when you feel tired, Michelle, and like I just don't feel good, great, I'm gonna go back to my state again. Spend 5 minutes, go over here, and then get back here.
Yes.
But you know what normal is now.
Right.
People haven't even gotten there yet.
Yeah.
So how do they start practicing maybe 5 minutes a day to get to that state where they feel uncomfortable for the first 30, maybe 60 days, and then they feel like that's their normal.
Right.
When in my sense, this is just me. When I start a habit, and I go, and if I miss that habit that day, I'm like, dang, I missed that. That's how I know it's my new habit.
Yes.
You can't have a good and bad habit for the same thing.
Right.
So you have to realize it takes you time to get that habit into your replace the bad ones, not bad ones, but ones that aren't very helpful for your health. And then once you get there, you realize if I miss a day or two, I'm like, dang. But you start missing 3 or 4, then you're just being lazy.
Right.
At that point, you
Right.
have to get that back again. It's too much work. So getting to a better, healthy state, maintaining that is a lot easier than going in and out. And unless you like the excitement, then you do that. It's up to you. I'd rather make my life simple and easy.
Right.
So once I feel like, I need 5 minutes. I need to go over here 5 minutes and make sure I get my quick power nap or relaxation going. One of my tables here too.
Right.
At that point, I enjoy that. Boom, back at it.
Right.
But you realize, Michelle, you're at here already. So how do we get people there first, and then they know what normal is, and then maintain that?
Yeah, that's very true. You know, there's times when I'm having a particularly stressful day at work, and then we have a really nice lunchroom, but I just go to my car. I don't want to talk to anybody. I just need quiet.
5 minutes.
Yeah, and then I'm good. Then I'm good the rest of the day. You know, it's just I just need to not be around anybody sometimes.
And if you're just starting out too, a lot of it is make sure you make that time sacred for you. And we're always going to have family or kids or someone pulling out our coattails or at our collar going, hey, I need you right now. Right. Yeah, I know you do, but I need myself first.
Yes. I
can't be with you until I take care of myself, so I can be with you and actually not snap at you or be the grouchy, grumpy person.
Yes. And it's not selfish to take time for yourself, you know, as a husband or wife or mom or dad, especially because, you know, you live together in the same house generally. You do need your own time. You have to have that time because it makes you a better you for them. You know, if you're tired, moms especially, I deal with moms a lot. You know, if you're run down, if you're not sleeping at night, and I know it's harder with the little ones. I remember those days. I had 2. They're 16 and a half months apart. So it was almost like having twins at times. I know what it's like. I know. But you have to have that time. You know, they need to learn that mommy needs her time. Daddy needs it. You know, my husband needs his own time away first. Then when he comes back, he's that much better of a man to me, or, you know, your wife, or, you know,
and
like
sometimes it's finding time when they're asleep. Maybe after they go to bed, or before they wake up in the morning. At that point, it's hopefully quiet in the house, which is very rare, where you actually have moments where you can actually find that space, or go for a quick walk, and realize neurologically, males and females, we actually relax differently. It's not the same. Guys, the way we relax is not talking, maybe exercising, and doing things more on our own, independently. Women, neurologically, again, this is not just me talking, my wife is probably watching it, so she'll disagree with me, is women relax more by having conversation, talking out their day. This stressed me, God. And if you take that men from Mars, women from Venus type of thing, and you allow that to counter or interact when they're both stressed, you're causing an explosion of stress. So women realizing that if you're married to have someone in your life, if a husband or guy comes home stressed, give them time to relax. Hey, do you need 10 minutes? Do you need 5 minutes? You want to go for a walk? How much time do you need? Right. And if they say nothing, then you're in. Right. If they're honest with you, they go, I need about 10 minutes just to relax. Not a problem. Right.
But I'm an exception there. When I'm stressed, I don't like to talk. I don't be stressed with conversation.
It's on average.
Yeah.
You know, but same thing, guys. Hey, if you're stressed and you go, and you come home and your wife's stressed in your ear, blah, blah, my whole day is blah.
Yes.
I have a dog excuse. I have to walk the dog. I'll be back in 20 minutes. If they need more time, I'll take half an hour.
Now your wife knows that you're using that.
2 minutes. But how do you find that window? I just need time to get things out of my head, let myself relax, and then I'll be right with you. That's more efficient than just saying nothing, guys, and all of a sudden you blow up because you're done, and all of a sudden the rest of the night's done. And the couch is comfortable, right? We don't sit on the couch every night. That's not fun.
No, that's not good.
It's not fun. It's not good for your back either, because I'm a chiropractor, worried about your back.
Right.
Not just me.
Well, I think that's it unless you have anything.
And my biggest point is, wherever you are now, how do you get a little more uncomfortable to find your space to make your mind and body a little bit more relaxed, in that sense healthier?
Yes.
You watch this again, so I'm going to put a couple links in there about how to stretch your neck, a couple stretches here and there too, how to move your body, how to position your body when you're sitting or standing, so you're exercising the right position, but realize movement is what your body needs.
Yes.
And if you're not into that too, or want to combine that with music, if you have talented like Michelle does, playing piano, or the sax, you play saxophone too, correct?
No, I used to play trumpet. But
Trumpet, that's what it was. At that point, give yourself that ability to relax that way, because when you're focused on something, you're observing what you're doing, you're enjoying the moment, you're feeling it out because you're really analyzing what you're doing. That prevents everything else in your mind to get out of your head.
Right.
And there was a commercial, probably, was it insurance or something, where a woman was going for a run, and all of a sudden there's about 30, 40 people on her, I'm talking in her ear. I'm going to this golf tournament. I do this paper for me. Can you answer my phone call? As she's running, all these things are falling. All these people are falling behind her. All of a sudden, she's on her own in the forest. That's where you want to get to.
Right.
You want to feel yourself get to that quiet space, wherever it is for you, and maintain that daily. And like I was talking to Dr. Kelly about, is doing it routinely is more important, even for 4 or 5 minutes a day, than doing it for an hour every week.
Yeah, right. 1 day a week. Yes.
Routine every day is more important, short periods of time, than 1 hour a week.
Right. And some people I know will get that relaxation state. Like some guys, let's say they like to go out and tinker on a car, work on a car. That's great, but you still do need to stretch your body. You need to have some type of movement, purposeful movement, not just working on the car kind of movement, right? I mean,
well, the movement
there are
allows
stretches that
allows your body's chemistry and your hormones to rebalance to deal. So your stress hormones throughout the day, boom, go. Stress hormones go up. At that point, the movement allows your body that to come down, and your good hormones actually start on endorphins to kick in to help get that balance. By the time you fall asleep, you want that balance zeroed out.
Right. Okay.
So there's a scientific basis why you want to move.
Yes.
Not just because we want you to move.
Right.
Still good for you, but whatever.
So if you're in the Southern California area, he's located in Upland on Euclid Avenue. What's the address? 60 East Foothill. If you look at Euclid Chiropractic, Euclid, at that point, the main city in Upland. We're on Google, Yelp, Facebook, Instagram, all the grams and books. We're basically everywhere. It's everywhere.
What we do is take videos like these. This is the back end, and we put them on everything, so everyone sees everything. Okay? We want to make sure we educate the public how to stay healthy. By doing that, ironically enough, we're busier than we ever were, because we become more of the branded health practitioners in the area, not just pain relief, not just back relief. But how do we educate our patients? By giving them videos. We send our patients videos to how to stretch, details, how to get stronger. So my job when I see someone like Michelle in my office is to get them healthy, and they maintain their health on their own by doing the stretches and everything they're doing at home to keep themselves healthy mentally and physically, so I don't have to see them.
Right. So it's more preventative rather than waiting until you're sick and then going to the doctor who gives you a pill, the whole thing on and on and on.
Sometimes it's good for you, but do you want to live on pills? Most people say no. If they do, then that's other issues. That's your next video.
All right. Well, thank you so much for watching, everybody, and I will see you on Thursday.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you, Dr. Tom.